Okay.
Hi.
I guess we're live.
We're live. Can people hear us, or I don't know? Oh, I see people. I don't know if we can see like messages.
Let's see here. No. Well, this is the first time we've done this, so bear with us, please.
Be patient.
We're trying.
I don't know if there's a place where we can see questions. If someone could like send us a message and say hello, and then we'll know.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Okay.
Well, I think we just talk about stuff, and then maybe you look there and see if you see any questions pop up.
Okay. Turn down the volume on this so it doesn't interact.
We've had a few questions that kind of are repeating. So we'll answer some of those, but
we'd have to turn the live chat on.
Is there a live chat?
Mm-hmm. I don't know how to turn it on though.
Oh shoot. Okay.
But
so, well, I'll just start talking, and then if he can figure out, I don't know how to turn on the live chat. I don't have access to this feature. Well, we'll just talk, and then if there's a, I don't know how to put on the live chat, but so a couple of our goals for the new year is that we just have a bigger presence on like YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, just so we can have more conversation with everybody, get to know everybody, and you get to know us. I think live streams are a good place if we could learn how to do the live chat, where we can have dialogue and conversation. But I wrote down a few questions that people have been asking about, and so I thought we would talk a little bit about that. So one kind of big question that we get all the time is, when is something going to go back into stock? And so the old way that we used to do things was that we would do a catalog update once a year. And that was that for the year. I mean, I think we'd probably get more stock as we picked throughout the season. We'd get more seeds in. But if we were getting closer to the new year, well, we'd hold stuff over for the new year, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, what I just said?
I think so.
Because there came a point in the year when we stopped selling seeds, and all the trays were gone through. We have like 20 trays of seeds, and so there came a point in the year where we stopped selling stuff, and harvest from, say, like 2022 was going to go to 2023, if that makes sense. So, and we had talked with Steve when we were first purchasing the business, and he said, are you going to go year round? And we talked about it, and what does that mean to just sell seeds year round and not like have an update? And so currently I think that's pretty well where we're working towards. So people, when are you going to get this back in stock? And so it kind of just like, we go out and we harvest, and it gets cleaned and it gets packaged, and if we can put it back into inventory, we do. What else was I going to say? So somebody, I think another question as far as that goes is, how do you find stuff on the website? So we have a news page on the website, www.mesagarden.com. Does it say news, or is it under the About tab?
It says news.
It says news. I did a little screenshot on the news page of how to find the latest things in stock. But if you search on the right, which I guess would be over here, the right-hand side, there's a search bar. And if you want to put in a genus or species or whatever you're looking for in there, you can look in there. I would say probably genus. I don't know. It just depends on what you're looking for. Yeah. And then once you click into that genus, there's a place on the left-hand side that says, like, you can limit your search.
Mm-hmm. What's in stock? There's a little checkbox there on that side.
I think that's the best place to go because it says you can check newly added, right? Or added late.
Yeah, that's in the top upper left.
That's what I said, left.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we're flipped around because I'm thinking that I don't know. Anyway, search bar's on the right. Search bar's on the right.
Don't look at our hand signals.
Don't look at our hand signals. And how to limit your searches on the left. And you can go to newly added. And so we're updating stuff daily, pretty much.
Well, weekdays.
Weekdays, not during the weekend.
Yeah.
We have employees here Monday through Friday. And so that's when that happens. So this year, I think we should probably talk about the Kano schedule. So when we did the Kano update, I think probably 100 people tried to order. And while our website is fantastic, it's not like Amazon. And so it couldn't handle the traffic and inventory went into madness.
Yeah, it couldn't keep up with.
It couldn't keep up. And so
if we had one product in stock and like 100 people were ordering it, it would get in their cart, but by the time it got to us, it was way out of stock. So unfortunately, we had some weird issues happen, and we're just gonna like try to refund those or
Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. So that's about the best we can do with that. So
then that makes us think about how are we going to update in the future. And so
yeah.
I think we're mulling it over. Should we update all the conophytum at once? No,
I don't think so.
And not all the conophytum are updated yet. I think Aaron's picking.
I'm still picking
every day and cleaning seeds, and one of our employees, she's adding every day, and or when she's here. And
I try to pick all the popular stuff first, so all that stuff is basically gone, like calculus or page A or any of those really popular ones. I try to hit those first so that they're available right away. So anything else we're adding now is just kind of like the stragglers of, wet Steinii or, those types.
So I think like if you're still wanting conophytum, I think that's good to go into that latest search and see what we've added latest, because we'll just keep adding. So I'd say stay tuned. We haven't decided how we're going to add conophytum next year, but we don't know if we can just do one massive download again, because when we have a ton of people hit the system, it's kind of it's stressful.
It's hard,
and
doesn't work.
We're cleaning up a mess that's going to take us.
It's going to take us a few weeks to get through that.
To kind of deal with.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to talk about the questions. So we had a couple questions. Somebody asked about, can you talk about growing conophytum from seed?
Mm-hmm. And on the website, if you go into the About tab, there's a selection in there called germination tips. And if you go in there, you can kind of see our soil mix and see what we do. as far as the procedure, and that helps a lot, I think, um, especially if you're somebody new starting out trying to grow these things. Um, and then like finding out when to sow them. I mean, if you're sowing under lights with grow mats, I can't really advise you on how to do that because we don't do that here. We sow stuff in the greenhouse during the season. So right now I'm sowing conophytum, and I'll start sowing lithops soon because the temperatures in the greenhouse are about 40 degrees at night, and then it's getting into the 80s day, and that seems to help germinate the conos really well.
Sorry.
That's right. And so I think the question in there was
Avoiding out.
avoiding algae in your pots, and that is such a pain in the butt. I hate it. I hate having algae in my pots. But it happens, Our mix is pretty decent as far as it keeps a lot of that stuff from forming, but inevitably I've got a few pots in this tray that just got over soaked, and they're going to grow algae like crazy. And so that's a tough one, because that algae, it grows around your plants, and then it kind of gets hard, and then your plants are kind of struggling, and you can, about the best thing you can do is just kind of chip it away once it dries out, and just kind of chip around, and that way your plants can grow. And I've been kind of researching too, like using hydrogen peroxide in your water when you're watering, and I'm still researching that. I think maybe just a really dilute mixture in water might get rid of it, but you have to be just really careful because it will destroy the roots of your seedlings. So it's kind of like chemotherapy in a way, so I'm still kind of working that out, but I think it's probably safe to put maybe a teaspoon in a gallon of water and see if that helps with that. I don't know. But the thing that algae thrives on, obviously, is the humidity and the light. And so you're gonna get algae if you've got light and you've got a really moist environment with a warm, moist environment. You're just gonna breed it. It's really difficult to manage that, especially with your seedlings. So I think if you've got a good ground cover, that might help, like a soil cover might help it from developing on the soil itself. Maybe it'll just develop on the rocks or whatever you use, and then you can just kind of get rid of that. But it's a problem that everybody faces, and I think we're going to work through it together and kind of figure it out, because I hate it. It's terrible. A well-draining soil is a very great idea. Nice sandy, gritty soil that drains well, that you can get to dry pretty quickly is a good thing. You don't want it to dry out too quickly, then your seedlings will also dry out too. But there's all these catch-22s when you're trying to deal with this stuff. So
I think it would be good to talk about your experience sowing conos this year. That it's been
I've had some problems germinating conophytum this year, and I've just kind of, it's taken, this pot's 3 weeks old and still nothing. But then the 4th week, they're starting to germinate. So I think just stick with it. when I first sowed it, I didn't have any rainwater. I just sowed it with the well water and with some vinegar. I was hoping that would help, but it didn't really help germinate anything. And then we just got some rain a few weeks ago, and I collected it and I sprayed it on there immediately, as fresh as it was coming down. That way, they could have it. There's a gibberellic acid, I guess, in rainwater, and that just helps the seeds to germinate. So if you get access to rainwater, that helps. Distilled water works pretty good too. I've had good success with that too. So yeah, and I soak my pots from the bottom in the very beginning, and then I cover them, and I just leave them covered until they germinate. And if they don't germinate, then I take the cover off and I get some rainwater and I put some rainwater on top, and then typically they'll come up within a few days of that. So hopefully that helps to kind of answer that.
Okay.
So what else?
So I think we've been talking about trying to have, in the days and weeks to come, some like YouTube shorts on little tips and tricks for the website. So we'll start working on those, and then just website videos. But I think if once this go live ends and you can comment, I think, on this video, or you can send us a message too via email.
You can email us. Yeah.
Just kind of things videos you'd like to see. This is our first go live, so I'm disappointed that we don't have the live chat, but we're gonna figure out the live chat. We'll get better at this.
Yeah.
But figuring out how often we could do a live, I don't know. Are these beneficial?
Yeah.
Opening up conversation, what kind of videos people would like to see, because I know that's one of our bigger comments too, is like, we'd love to see more videos. And so we're going to work on that.
Mm-hmm.
And what would people like to kind of see? And we put a note here, and I don't know if it's worth talking about. I don't know how many people from Australia are watching, but currently we can ship express mail to Australia, but we can't ship like first class, which is lowest. So I don't know if anybody from Australia is going to watch this, but shipping to Australia currently, it's been a problem for several months. So we're bummed.
Totally.
We do ship a bit to Australia.
Yeah, we have a lot of Australian customers.
And this has nothing to do with plants, but something we just kind of want to say because it comes up often. And I think, it's going to be on our list of talking with our web people this year, but our shopping cart on the website, if you've got something that you just really want, buy it. It's not like the Amazon cart where it can sit there for a couple days. Mm-hmm. And you can put all these things in your cart and go back and then try to purchase.
If our supply is good, you'll be okay,
Yeah.
But if you go in there and you click the quantity that you want, and it says there's only one left,
get it.
You better purchase it, because that's the last one. So and then you can email us and ask when we'll have more. If it's conif items, probably not till next year, because we're still harvesting, but pretty much all that's done. So
and I think, I don't know, should we talk about 6?
Okay.
So I think and we've had people say specifically like about some cactus, like, I feel like you haven't updated some cactus this year, and so it probably should let people know that our biggest greenhouse, we have lost the roof on it 3 times in 3 years.
Terrible winds up here. It's like,
I'm pretty sure this last wind that took it was a tornado, because it took our neighbor's carport and flew it over their house.
Mhm.
And so basically this wind came, probably a 70-mile-an-hour wind came, took off the roof from our biggest greenhouse, and it landed on the other side of our 5-acre property. And so Aaron made an executive decision to rebuild the greenhouse. So because we are on a mesa and the winds are crazy, and so he made a decision to rebuild the greenhouse to make it not as big as a wind sail. Basically, it was just like a giant sail. And so it took about 2 weeks to rebuild. And so we were trying desperately to not have cross-pollination go on in there.
Mhm.
We were trying all these like
Trying to put cups over.
over and pots.
Yeah.
And
making
it
little
was
screen things to put over the pots.
There were
or the
like
flowers and
there's hundreds of flowers in there, and it was just like the impossible dream. Just I had little markers trying to mark what we knew wasn't cross-pollinated. Markers like, I know this is cross-pollinated. And so a lot of stuff in there from this year went into mixes.
Mhm.
And so if there's stuff where you're like, I know they used to have it and they don't now, it's probably just because it was a lot of our cactus are in this big 6 greenhouse,
Mhm.
and we had cross-pollination. And so
you're going to see some cool hybrids in those
Yeah.
mixes, possibly. Might be.
that might be fun.
Yeah.
Who knows? We have,
Yeah.
and it's a non-heated greenhouse.
Mhm.
So how big is it? It's like 100, but no. How
It's
big is
100.
6?
Yeah.
It's 100 by 32.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
it's pretty decent size.
yeah, we have 2 that are 100 by 32. So if you're missing some some cactus that you just really liked, that
Yeah.
could be what happened. So hopefully this year things will be back in action.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if there's anything else. Was there any other questions
I
that
can
popped
maybe
up?
look on Instagram and see if anybody posted anything else. This guy's a troll.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Oh.
Look here. Nope.
Okay.
So anyway.
I'm so sorry we don't know how to make it a live chat.
Yeah, I'm sure there's the way to do it. maybe those bars up there.
Okay, I'm going to click something. If we go away, I apologize. It won't let me.
Oh, well.
No. So I think we probably have to
Have to
set it up beforehand. So,
we'll do that next time.
We'll do that next time. I don't know if we'll do like in a week or 2. It just depends on kind of what people say or don't say.
Yeah.
I just know of other like greenhouse and farm people that we follow on like YouTube. They do lives, and it's kind of cool to just get to chat with people. Did somebody else ask a question?
Yeah, we answered that.
Okay, we answered.
Yeah.
So, and we didn't introduce ourselves.
Nope. I'm Aaron Morad.
And I'm Tara.
And this Morad. Is my wife, Tara Morad.
And
we've been doing this since 2016. We bought it from Steve Brack, and it's been a roller coaster.
Steve was just here.
He was just here a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Last week before.
Yep. So we're still in touch with them, and
we still talk to Steve.
Yeah. And occasionally I go with them trips, and we go look at cactus and nature, and that's fun. That's always fun. So
I don't know if you need to, we have 2 kids. We have 16-year-old son. His name is Seth, and soon to be 14-year-old daughter.
Yep.
Her name is Jillian.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 2 dogs.
Yep.
A Chihuahua.
Yep. That's Gabby. I'll get Ruby here.
And
She's
a
in there.
Yorkie. This is Gabby. And that's our Yorkie, and she's a mess.
That's Ruby.
And that's us. Our little family. No,
So.
no growling. No. So, we'll set up a live chat next time. And I think if you're watching with us, I know we've had a few people come and go. If you have any burning questions, please ask us, and we can either respond by email, or if we start to see repeating questions, we'll write those down. Okay. Yep. So for those of you that joined us, thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.